Thank you for joining me. My name is Mike Cruz. I'm with Cruz Law Firm. I'm here today to talk to you about how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected in-custody criminal cases in our Ontario criminal court system. And I want to just define in custody. So in custody would be a person who's been charged with a criminal offense, arrested, and did not get bail. In other words, they're sitting, languishing in jail, waiting for their guilty plea or trial. As you're probably aware, over the course of the summer since March, our court system was paused to a certain extent at least. And people who had trial schedules, say on murder cases, sexual assault, other cases, drug cases, who were waiting for their trial for months and sometimes even a year or two, they couldn't have their trial. So that was a tremendous emotional, psychological worry. And we were very concerned about the pandemic getting into our jail system. So what effect did that have? Well, it had a number of effects. First of all, people who were charged and arrested with a criminal offense, justices of the peace and judges were more inclined to grant them bail after bail hearing. There was some degree of leniency there because we were trying to get people out of the jail system so we didn't have the pandemic spread in the jail. So that was one effect. Another is that the Crown attorneys were very concerned about people languishing in custody, very concerned about perception of delay because trials are getting backlogged. So certainly good deals were being offered. There was some degree of leniency being offered. So for example, if a person was facing months in jail, many months, they might reduce that sentence slightly or by some months. And so there was a lot of great deals being offered to remove this backlog. The real worry, of course, was for people sitting there, well, I want to have a trial. I'm innocent. I deserve my right to a trial. Those trials couldn't be taken, gone. They weren't being done. So they're sitting there languishing there. Now, on July 6th, we started trials across Ontario in the Ontario Court of Justice and the Superior Court of Justice, at least in a limited way. So in most of the courthouses, they renovated some of the trial courts. So now in custody accused, that is people are sitting waiting in our county jails, they can resume their trials on July 6th. But the problem is, again, we only have a limited number of courtrooms. The Crown attorneys are going to have to prioritize those cases, and delays may ultimately emerge. We don't know for sure, but there's a real perception of that. So it has been quite a problem for people sitting in custody waiting, a lot of worry, a lot of psychological effect. But on the other side of the coin, there's been a good benefit to them in that more have been released on bail, and there's been greater deals. And thankfully, at least our criminal system is starting up again, at least in a limited way. And hopefully we can move the trials to an early resolution very soon.